Oh, we've lost a connection here. I'm just going to try it. Okay, that's fine. It's all good. We might already be live on some.
Yeah, I think we are live. No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're live.
I'm getting all the errors telling me like
The worst timing, huh? For
this
all the errors.
connection. Yeah, this
Oh
connection is
no.
broken. Whatever. So I'm just like hitting them all right now. Like, yeah, okay, reconnect. So just bear with me while I do that annoying, silly stuff.
Yeah, no, it's all good. While you're doing that, I'll keep everyone entertained. So, hello, friends. Welcome to our live session. I will be your kind of I guess I'm a co-host in this sense, or just some guy just joining on live. But my name is Alif. I am a marketing specialist here at PaymentEvolution. That's my manager, Juliano, and we're doing our second live.
Yeah, here we are. Oh, and I got a message. We are live, so that's good. We're having some success, even though our streaming tool is giving me lots of errors. Really, it's just doing its job, right? It's like
Its
I
job is
want to
to
let
give
you know.
errors.
Well, its job is to
Is that
tell
what you're
us what's
saying?
working, what's not working. So I
That's
get it.
true.
I get it.
It is what it
Yeah.
is.
So we are kicking off a little bit before 2 because just because we want to give people a chance to kind of get here for 2. Alif, I'm glad you introduced yourself. And I'm
Yeah.
Juliana. For those who don't know me, I'm head of marketing at Payment Evolution. I look like I could use a nap, but it's not
No, you
because I'm
don't.
tired. It's because I had an eye injury earlier this week, and so my eyes they're not at their brightest.
Oh no, yeah, no. I remember you showed me some pictures, or like I went on call with you, and you can barely open one eye. So the whole time we were talking, it was just like one eye, like trying to stay open. And then you told me a disturbing story where you were in a meeting, and there was
Mhm.
pus coming out of your eye. Oh,
No, it wasn't
I can't,
pus.
I
It was
can't.
drops were dripping. Like I had to
Ah!
put drops in before. And
Oh,
so
okay.
my eye was
Still,
very gooey. But it wasn't pus. No, I'm not that
but
disgusting.
context, because you said that during lunch hours.
I'm sorry,
So
man. Sometimes I don't have
gooey eye is not the best.
filter. Yeah, not a good way to put it. But it wasn't my goo. It was prescription goo.
That does not make it any better. I'm sorry. Like he has goo coming out of eye. Like
Okay, this is not
yeah.
good conversation to be having here.
This is we should talk about payroll and software, not
Yeah, this is
gooey
like
eye.
2 a.m. conversation, not 2 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. You're right. I thought it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, when you're kind of doing your thing with your buddies and you can say these things.
Yes. So
Um,
funny story.
mhm,
I'm actually the only one in my family out of my brother, mother, father that doesn't
mhm.
need eyeglasses, and they always need them. But for some reason, genetic lottery got me, and I have 20/20 vision. So anytime my friends tell me, "What's it like to have 20/20 vision?" I always tell
Uh-huh.
myself, "Oh yeah, true. Like it just is for me.
And
I'm
it
so like
is.
privileges are showing.
Yeah, totally. I used to say what you're saying, so don't jinx yourself. I developed astigmatism, which is just like, I don't know, something happens to the shape of your lens on your eye, or I don't know. I don't know exactly, and it can just spontaneously go back too. But I actually like glasses.
Really.
I get to have multiple styles.
So you're saying I'll lose my eye vision at one point?
No, I'm not saying you will. You just could. Like it's a possibility. You
That's
know.
not good. Oh no. Because I hate
You know
I feel like
what?
the glasses, it tingles the nose, and when you hold it, and
Mhm.
it's just annoying to wear unless it's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
sunglasses,
Well,
but
I
like,
hope it never happens to you, and that you can always enjoy having a completely free face.
yeah,
Um,
with no gooey eyes or anything. Hopefully that I
that
never come
was a
across that,
special
but
circumstance.
gooey eyes, oh my god.
Yes, yes, it was a special circumstance, but I am glad that I'm here live with you guys today, functioning. That
Welcome
is a
back.
good feeling. It definitely does throw you off when you don't have full access to all of your senses. We really do Like we take in everything with all of our senses. So it's kind of interesting. It was an
Were
interesting
you able to see
experience.
through the eye or no?
Yeah, but there was one point for about 3 days where I had to keep both of my eyes closed because if I tried to use one eye, my other eye would strain. And like when you move one eyeball around, the other eyeball moves around too with that one, right?
Oh,
So
so
yeah,
so you
there were
were
about 3
blind for
days
3 days.
where yeah. And what's kind of funny is I thought this was a very interesting experience from an accessibility perspective. We think about user experience design and all kinds of interesting things around, optimizing the experience for people. And so I thought this was a very interesting opportunity to share my observations about accessibility, having had been blind for 3 days. So I
Hmm.
posted something on my personal Facebook profile and my LinkedIn profile, and all I got was, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" So I think I just made everyone feel uncomfortable, which was not my intention. It really was about accessibility, but I think the medium is the message. So
You're trying to send out like a marketing kind of post, like, "Hey guys,
yeah,
it's
here's what
inclusive
I've learned.
accessibility," and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
No.
everyone was like, "Oh, I hope you're on the mend. Ooh, that looks rough." It's like, okay,
Were you
well,
so were
thank
you
you.
in bed then? Like, just
No,
laying in bed and
I was in my car my mom was
you were
driving,
driving? Okay.
on the way on the way to getting my eye patch removed. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I think,
it wasn't
your mom driving
pretty.
should have came first, and then you were in
Yeah.
the car,
I
and
did
then
get a comment like that. "How are you driving right now?" It's like, "Oh,
oh
silly
my gosh.
gooses."
Yeah, your mom's here to save the day. Moms.
All right, enough about, well, I was going to say enough about me, but the truth is, we're going to talk about some other stuff that you and I have been blessed enough to be a part of here at Payment Evolution.
Mhm.
So it's not all on the shelf. Um, so we recorded I think our first two podcasts.
Yeah.
And yeah, and because I was sort of out of commission at the beginning of this week, I wasn't really sure what had happened. Like I hadn't been following email and stuff. And someone internally said that she saw it, someone at Payevo, and and I was like, "Ooh, did we launch?" So, like, where are we? What are the plans? What's been going on, man?
So here's the thing. We recorded it in the office, and by the way, funny story. As you and Sam and no, not Sam. What am I saying? As you and I were recording, and you and Dustin was
Yes.
recording, I was like watching, freaking out because I was like, "Is the audio actually recording? I see the spikes going up and down, but I don't see it go." And I was like,
Mm.
ah. But anyways, the podcast got recorded. We videoed it, and I uploaded it to YouTube. Funny story though, it's still in the approval process, in the approval channel of our chat. So
Mm.
I sent it over
Waiting on
there
that.
with an unlisted, and now you're telling me people you're getting compliments, and I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Like again, freaking out. What's happening now? How did
Yeah.
you feel
Okay. Well,
included this?
at least it's all in the right direction, right? It's all positive, so that's
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
But I will go through the approval channel and catch up on all my delinquent status
All
message.
good.
My apologies.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, the feedback I got was really, really great, especially in the time of COVID and when people are feeling isolated. I think it kind of touched me more. But I specifically heard this week that I'm not going to call it the person, but this one woman said that she was excited. She felt like excited to be a part of this and to be and it was great to remember that like I like these people and I want
Mm,
to roll my sleeves up and interact and this just felt good and it kind of I think reminded or at least it came
wow,
across to me that it reminded her a bit of old times. So
that's
that was
crazy.
pretty awesome.
For a first podcast, yeah, and that's kind of what we're going with, right? With the first podcast,
Yeah.
you show the personality, you show the behind the scenes, and it seems like she just
Hmm.
kind of sucked it up, and yeah,
Hmm.
wow, like just more motivating to create more podcast
Yeah.
episodes, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, if you're some crazy production house and you can do some really incredible film and audio and all of that, great, awesome, go for it. But I think this is a testament to any businesses out there that are thinking about how to get their message out. Well, ultimately, just be you. Just be you, put it out
Hmm.
there. You can't appeal to everyone anyway. So
Hmm.
just be you and, work with the people that like you. that's
Hmm.
that's the ideal scenario.
Yeah, there's no
So
secret. It's just literally that, and you're good.
Yeah, for sure. So we will be putting out the podcast, the first episode this week then, correct?
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. I'm really excited about that. So we did record video and audio, so we'll be able to share it on a couple of different platforms, which is great. We also last week launched our first live stream. We're doing our second one right now.
Wow, we're just launching and launching
We're
all these
launching.
things.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seth Godin would be so proud of us. He always talks about you just got to ship, you know? Like don't be planning to perfection, just ship, get it out there, you know? And
What
you
book was that
can
from?
Seth Godin, he's
Yeah.
actually I'm not sure if I've ever read any of his books, but
Oh, yeah.
he's blogged every day for I don't know, maybe
Years.
like 12, 15 years or something like that. And his stuff is brilliant. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short, but it's brilliant. And I'm super honored I got a chance to talk to him at a conference once and ask him a
Oh,
question.
really?
And yeah, that was really
Wow.
cool.
How is
So
he in person?
um like quirky and brilliant. I love when people are themselves. So I kind of liked his quirkiness. I asked a question and he just gave me a very abrupt answer, and I was like, well, that was kind of anticlimactic. Like I was expecting like
Oh,
this
really?
moment with my one of my thought leaders, and I was about
And
to
you're
sit
gonna see
down and
Gary Vaynerchuk too, right?
yeah, but I was blind for the session and I
Oh, it
missed
happened
it.
this past week.
It did. I missed it. I
No.
even missed there was a 48-hour replay and I missed it.
No, not
Mhm,
even the replay. Oh my god.
mm-mm.
Oh, I'm so
I'm
sorry. That's
sure
the
I'll be able
worst.
to hear it like on his podcast or something, but
It's not the same without live.
still, I wanted the live element. Live is kind of cool because,
Yeah.
like, I know with Gary Vaynerchuk, the guy's so comfortable with everything. Like, you don't have to worry about him performing and not being himself. But I feel like, there's no take backsies when you're live. It's just real.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
that's like what you're getting right now is us.
Yeah, and I think that people are more because for me, I'd rather watch a presentation when it's live than a
Hmm.
replay of the presentation. Or whenever I see like a webinar popping up, I'm more likely to opt in for that because of the live element. It's just in person,
Hmm.
it's live. I can ask questions live in real time.
Hmm.
But videos and stuff isn't as exciting as like a live event. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's live, then I'm cool with the imperfections. If time has passed, I expect you to edit that stuff and make it awesome so that I'm not wasting seconds.
Yeah, make it consumable, right? It's
Yeah,
very
totally.
different than speaking to a camera when no one's around versus this where I'm just having a genuine conversation and kind of just
Hmm.
talking and whatnot.
Yeah,
It's very different.
something to be said about just live energy for sure.
Exactly.
So yeah, our live stream last week was fun. We had the CEO on, and then we had director of
Andrea.
customer success. So Sam and Andrea, and yeah, I think they both had a good time and some great content. And were you able to post that video on YouTube?
It's uploading right now as we speak.
Okay, sweet, sweet.
Um,
So
yeah.
yeah, there's a little bit of a delay when you try and set up live streams, and we are officially today streaming to YouTube live, but last week we just didn't get the approval on by the deadline sort of thing. So we're posting that video for anyone who didn't attend live. We were really happy though with the live numbers. Like I think we had
Mhm.
across platforms we had somewhere under a little bit under 100 people, but that's pretty awesome for not having really promoted anything and
Exactly.
just
First
shipping.
live.
Yeah. Yeah,
That should be on a shirt now. Just ship it.
just ship it. Yeah,
Just ship
totally.
it.
um so yeah, that live stream was good, and then we've got this one today. Now this one today we're going to be doing like a bit of a casual format generally anyway, but we want to talk about some of the things that we've been working on, what's coming up, and obviously I'm going to put it out there now and we'll remind you. We want to invite your feedback because our content is very much based on whatever it is you guys are looking for. So you make sure that you tweet us, message us, post, DM us, whatever, to let us know what topics you want us to cover. And I'm looking at you, on
That's,
purpose, okay, with my very tired eyes.
no, it's weird because I was looking at you, and while you're looking at your webcam, so I felt like you were literally speaking to me at that moment. I was
Yes.
like, whoa, like this is next level. You're breaking the fourth wall right now.
Yeah, here, this is live.
Yeah,
Going
we're doing
back
it
to
live. Yeah.
the power of live. So, yeah, and we've got some cool stuff that we're going to be releasing soon. So, giving you some sneak peek access, and then sharing some of our favorite free startup tools.
Ooh, free startup
Okay.
tools.
Yeah,
Who wouldn't
we'll
like
talk about a
that?
few different categories.
Mhm.
Okay, so first, uh, what's been going on, right? I know we had the CPB Canada Ignite conference, and that was a
Yep.
blast. That was 3 days. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, so it was 3 days. It's my first time watching a virtual conference.
Hmm.
I've always been to like in-person conferences, speaking to people, and it's a whole other experience. But when it's virtual, I think the platform they used, Feedloop, it was very interesting because it simulated a real life like conference where
Hmm.
I believe Dustin and his teams, he had a sales team, they were manning the booth, and then
Hmm.
people would drop by and they would message them and everything. And I don't know. How do you like virtual events? Those are interesting.
Yeah, they are interesting. I'm such an extrovert. I really love standing
Yeah.
at the edge of my booth space and being like, "Hey, how
Hey.
did you like the last session?" Like I really just love interacting with people. So it's
Oh yeah.
obviously a bit different. Um, and I was lucky enough that I was able to attend some sessions. So I wasn't actually at the booth having one-on-one discussions with people, but I was able to attend a few sessions, and that was really cool. Um, and yeah, it's definitely a different beast. But I have to say, I was pretty happy with the format. Like uh, we've we've been able now to do a few different virtual events, and there's going to be technical glitches as we perfect these virtual tools at scale, at like a
Mhm.
conference scale. But I think Feedloop was a great back end to host this thing on. They did a great job.
Yeah, there was like
Hmm.
a networking feature. You can network with other people, and whenever
Hmm.
someone came to your booth, you get notified. And overall, it was a solid experience. And for those who were confused about what Ignite Conference was, it was basically a conference from hosted by the bookkeepers. I could be wrong. Bookkeepers Association. Is that right?
I believe it's the Certified Professional Bookkeepers of Canada.
There we go.
And I think they recently, I don't know, well, not I think, I know they recently rebranded and changed their name um, from, I think it was the Institute for Professional Bookkeepers of Canada to the Certified Professional Bookkeepers of Canada. And and so I think that was the first conference with this new brand, and it was a good event. So Canadian bookkeepers, and it was actually a really friendly, energetic group. Great topics too. Like I think
Hmm. Hmm.
sometimes it's easy to assume that something that is, accounting, numbers related might be
Boring.
a
Yeah.
little bit more formal, a little bit, yeah, low energy, boring, whatever. Maybe not boring for you if you're really into numbers,
Yeah. Yeah.
but there was a real mix of topics from, you know, like what's new in tax standards right through to how do you find clients on social, so I really liked
Mhm.
seeing that array of content. It was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of presentations. I think there was one on like self love or something of that nature. I forget the
Hmm.
exact title, but
Uh-huh.
I there was a variety. I would assume a bookkeepers conference it would be all about like numbers and kind of
Hmm.
softwares and everything. But there were some slots where I was like, oh, this is cool. I would want to join this. This is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, overall great experience.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. So that was a blast, and we're doing this for both Ignite and an upcoming conference, the Accounting Technology Seminar Series that's coming up actually in this month, but I think we're on October 22nd. Um, but we are really putting a spotlight on our Evolve platform, which allows bookkeepers and accountants essentially to take our payroll tools and other things too are built in that, but ultimately use the Evolve platform to manage their client base, to administer payroll across their client base. I believe it's the first tool of its kind in Canada.
Hmm.
And we're running a boot camp exclusive to the members of CPB Canada, and the ones who attended that Ignite conference, and the folks that are coming up in the October 22nd date, conference date. And I'm not going to call it a pilot because we've gone through this content and it's solid. But at the same time, I'm really interested to see how people react to the way that we've pulled this together.
Hmm.
I'm really excited to not just show people like, hey, here's a demo of a tool you could use, but here's how easy it is to use. Like we're gonna literally run a boot camp where you start up your account from scratch, add your clients, run payroll, and we're going to show people how you can do it all in one session. And for those who make it to the end, we're going to provide some marketing collateral so you don't even have to market it from scratch. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so like not a pilot exactly, but at the same time, I'm very curious to see how people like this format if we're empowering folks the right way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically, if you're an accountant and you're looking to add an additional revenue stream for your business, basically our software lets you run payroll for multiple clients on one interface. And
Mhm.
in this webinar, we'll literally give you everything you need so you can start pitching and getting clients. And
Mhm.
it's a go-to kind of event. So
Yep.
highly recommend you check it out. Feel free to like,
Mhm.
I guess, email us if you want access to it. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you're listening to this and you're part of the CPB membership or the accounting community generally, bookkeeper, you can email me. I'm going to put out my email address, Juliana@paymentevolution.com, and just ask about the Evolve Bootcamp, and I will hook you up personally, because this is not available for public registration yet. But if you are eager, you let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you. Okay.
I did.
Um,
Cool.
mm, that being said, um, there's another thing I was going to say about that. Oh God, I don't know where that thought went. But anyway, yeah, I really just love the idea of not just having a webinar that's like, hey, look at us, we're going to talk about ourselves for 20 minutes, but rather, here's what you actually need to action this to turn it into something for your
Yeah,
business. So yeah,
exactly.
payroll as a service. Wouldn't it be nice to just add a new service offering, or improve the one you've got, improve your margin? Um, and if you're an independent business, there's a reason why people can use Payment Evolution payroll, and turn that into a revenue source for their organization. And it's because it's that cost and time effective. So if you're not using Payment Evolution right now, you should be anyway, because it'll save you time and money. And God knows we need all of that we can get, especially these days.
With COVID and everything, right?
Yeah, we all need to put our best foot forward, put all of our time where we can get the best ROI.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Check us out, paymentevolution.com.
Yeah. Okay, so this upcoming week we've got a new webinar that's coming out with Leah, right? The Business Advantage with Leah Green.
Yes, 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 exactly. The specific title kind of runs off my head right now, but
Hmm.
ideally it's for individuals. If you're an accounting professional yourself and you're looking for ways to increase efficiency or managing your money, what I'm not accounting myself, but if you're looking for any help in that nature, we're running a webinar. Leah is leading a webinar.
Well, and we're going to be flooding social with the title of that and link to that. On Monday and Tuesday. It launches at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, but there's going to be ample time. You're going to see that message come up a lot as a reminder on Monday and Tuesday throughout the day. So definitely get involved with that if you can. There will be replays as well. As long as you've registered, you'll get the replay. So definitely register. And I really like Leah's format. Leah's got pretty awesome personality and energy. But the
Yeah.
format of her webinars is essentially she's bringing on experts. So you get to hear multiple voices, and from multiple perspectives of expertise, which is pretty
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Yeah, she's definitely a go-getter, someone with high energy,
Hmm.
and like just goes after what she wants. I remember the first time I met her, I'm like, "Wow, you're putting on a webinar already? Like that's wild! Like you're moving so fast. How are you doing this?" And
Hmm.
I was caught off guard, and I was like, "Wow, like she's killing it. Like she's
Yeah.
genuinely actually killing it." So definitely an awesome person.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, like if you want something, you find a
You
way.
just
And
do
she's,
it.
yeah,
You
exactly.
just
And
ship it. That's what it is.
you
You just
ship,
ship.
right? Yeah, you got to run payroll. There's no time to like run it and wait to submit. You have a deadline. You got to ship.
Yeah, don't miss a deadline. CRA might be on you. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Then your employees won't like you.
Oh, that's
Most
the worst.
importantly.
Imagine coming to work the next day. Hey, I didn't get paid. How? What's
That
going
would
on?
be bad. That would be very bad. I've never been in a situation where I didn't get paid on time, but what an awkward conversation that would be.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because who knows? Maybe they have like a payment due of themselves, and they're waiting for the paycheck to
Yeah.
come in, and then they miss the
Mhm.
rent. Who knows? There's so many situations
Yeah,
that can
cash flow
happen.
is totally a real thing. And I know that with different payroll plans, and not just with our payroll plans, but with different payroll organizations that you can run your payroll through, different software and such, there's different lead times. So you might have to process payroll 3 days before or 5 days before. Cash flow plays a role in that. So um, it's so funny, not funny. It's so interesting to me how much the back end details, operations of your organization can affect the product, can affect client satisfaction, employee satisfaction. It's just such an intricate machine. You kind of want to get stuff like payroll set up and working well so you don't have to sweat it, and you can count on it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. I can only imagine. I know you were telling me when you were running your payroll, the monotonous process of doing
Yeah.
payroll can be very tedious. And
Hmm.
I haven't ran a business where I needed payroll software, but hearing the stories and looking at some demos of other softwares, I'm like, okay, this is gonna take some time. And I don't think there's anyone that genuinely I looks forward to doing payroll, except
Hmm.
Andrea from the last live. She was
Our
that was
support
interesting.
people.
Yeah, they actually look forward to the number crunching. I was like, "Oh, okay, well,
Yeah, yeah.
what makes you happy?"
They love the math equations that make other people scratch their heads. But yeah, great. They're in the right job.
The right job. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, our support people actually love supporting people. So
Look
you
at
can't get
that.
better than that.
Yeah, you don't even
Uh,
need a resume at that point. You just are the
yeah, right.
role.
Yeah, exactly. You are your brand. It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, cool. There's one other thing that I want to call out. We've got pandemic, a pandemic planning toolkits. And we're launching that next week. I can't remember if it's mid or late in the week right now. And I'm not going to open up my calendar because it really does slow down everything. But kind of excited about that too. Like um, I think pandemic. Yes, we're living in a pandemic right now, but this isn't really just about pandemic planning. It's really about emergency planning. I remember a number of years ago now in Toronto, we had the G20 um, in downtown Toronto, and there were protests everywhere, and offices got shut down, and suddenly your workforce had to be remote for an indefinite amount of time, and it happened at the flip of a switch. So I really think that this whole pandemic planning toolkit, it's got legs. There's
Yeah.
lots of applications. So I'm kind of excited about that. What do you know about the toolkit?
Yeah, for sure. So guys, this toolkit, I got it from our human experience team, and
Mhm.
I just got a Word doc. I was like, okay, cool. And I looked through. I'm like, oh my, like this is a lot of gems. I'm not even kidding you. Let me read out some of the titles from a table of content, and I'll show you why this is a gem. But basically, I'm literally reading Appendix D, Visitor Health Screening Questionnaire. So if you have a visitor coming into your office, instead of guessing what to do or going on the Canada website, use this toolkit and it has everything for you. Let me give you another example. Return to work communication. It can be a little awkward if your employees want to come to work in office, but then some of your other employees are a little overwhelmed and confused about the process. How do you communicate them with an effective manner? This is the toolkit exactly for that. And just one more, like
Mhm.
employee daily health screening. Like this is the toolkit for like I if I ran a business, this is what I'd have sitting in front of my desk at all times.
Mhm.
There's so much going through this toolkit. Basically, it's your go-to resource when it comes to running a business during COVID-19. If you'd like access to this pandemic toolkit, totally free, feel free to email me at alif@paymentevolution.com, and I'll personally send this to yourself. Yeah, so
Mhm.
you
I
got to
love
grab
that.
this.
I'm so glad that you called out some items in the table of contents because sometimes something just has a great title, but like this is daily application, right? And creating it from scratch, you can be super resourceful, you can be super smart, but you don't have endless amounts of time. And this is created by the pros for daily use. This is a gemstone. Um, and I also
Exactly.
love that you offered to get it to people because we're talking about it today, but it's going to be launched for public access mid next week or so. So you're giving people a sneak peek way backdoor. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be your plug, as they say. I'm your plug for the toolkit. But yeah, check it out. Again, my email is alif, A-L-I-F, at paymentevolution.com. Grab your toolkit. I feel like I'm an infomercial. Grab your toolkit today.
Yeah, yes and no. Like, who doesn't want
An infomercial?
insider access? It's
Oh.
it's like if you're a business owner, this stuff is like, you've got a friend that works at the concert hall and they're going to get you a backstage pass. Like, if you're a business owner, this isn't just infomercial keeping me awake at 3 a.m. This is like what you need to be spending your time and energy on. So, um,
Exactly.
yeah, stand in your power, Leaf. Feel good about it.
I'll just become, yeah, you're right. I'm an infomercial salesman. Heck yeah. Like, own it.
It's so funny because you're not selling anything, you're giving it away for free.
I know as I was pitching it, I'm like, man, that's a good sales pitch, huh?
Good sales pitch. Just missing the sign on the dotted line. Give me your credit card. This
Yeah,
part is
exactly.
we're just giving it away. We got
We
the
just give it
best
away.
job here. We didn't
Exactly.
have to create a kit or sell it. We're just giving it
We
away.
just talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're pretty lucky that way. Is this distracting to people? This is what happens
What
when
is
you have
that?
little children.
Oh,
A
and
little
I
eraser
was gonna
on my
ask you why you have that, but then I realized you have kids. So,
yeah, and it's like a fidget toy, you know?
oh, okay. Because I remember
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I would use that, but then
Mhm.
half of it would get rubbed off, and it doesn't look like a dinosaur anymore. It looks like a half-eaten dinosaur, and it just
As a parent, what I hear in that story is, "You did your homework, Elif. That's so cute."
I did my homework. There we go. So
Yeah.
basically, your kids, if they come home from school and their eraser is half off, then it means
Mhm.
they learned a lot that day.
There's a reason I'm using my son's stationery.
To keep
He
yourself on
doesn't
track.
use
Yeah.
it. He doesn't really, but that's okay. He's, in the digital age. It's a new
Yeah. It's
world.
all. Did your kids use like iPads and stuff? No.
My son is extremely technically savvy, so he's got a Chromebook, he's got a Kindle, because I
Mm,
just can't keep enough bookshelf space available and stuff.
Kindle. Nice.
He's got an Android, an Xbox One X or One S. What's the not
I think there's a
newest?
new one
It
coming
doesn't matter.
out.
Yeah, there's a new one.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I also bought him a Stadia because I'm a
Oh,
big Google fan, but
I heard bad reviews about it.
I'm an idiot because I spent like I can't remember if it was $200 or $300, and all I got was a controller. And you can
Yeah.
play,
Right.
I can play on the computer with him. I don't know. I just thought it was something
You try to be
mommy
a
could be
gamer.
involved in. Yeah,
Ah,
I was trying to be relevant,
you're
It
trying to be
didn't
cool with the kids, so you got games, but
yeah,
then
it
you got a
didn't go
Google
over
Stadia.
super well. Not to mention, unless you buy like a monthly subscription, it's a paperweight. Like it doesn't do anything, you
That is
know?
so true. Yeah, I haven't been much into games after a while. I used to play like the Legend of Zelda. I don't know if you know Legend of Zelda,
Yeah,
but
I've heard
that
of
used to
it,
be my
but
thing. But
mhm.
yeah, nowadays just do my
Yeah.
own thing.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Mario Brothers, the original stuff was the best in my day. Yeah.
Mario Brothers, yes, good
And
times.
yeah, and we have an NES back there too. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
we've got too much. We've got a PlayStation, a couple of Xboxes, an NES.
Oh my God,
My
you're
son is
spoiling the
very,
kids.
very lucky. I know,
She's
I know.
very lucky.
He's very lucky.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
have beg my parents for like a Wii or like not even GameCube, and we're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
please!" And they were like, "No, no, no!" And then one day they cracked and we got it, and life changed.
Yes, life change. Yeah, it's so true. Anyway, we can have parenting lessons another day because
The next
I have
session.
lessons to share and much to learn. I'll tell you.
I'm
There's
not
no
looking forward to it, but
perfection
like,
here. Well, it definitely has its perks, but um, it also tries you. It tests you. Yeah.
yeah, I can imagine. I can
Like
imagine. I hear a lot of stories.
anything that gives you a great reward, it's probably gonna break your back too.
I don't know how I feel about that right now. Because my friends who have kids and they're telling me
Yeah.
like, yo, when you have kids, life change and you got to do this, 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 and I'm like, you're saying I'll lose my freedom?
Yeah.
And
Okay, but isn't it like that? Like you've got a side hustle. You are super entrepreneurial. Isn't it the same thing?
what, as having a kid?
Well, it's something, it's your baby. It's something that you're putting before other it's like a mission, a goal that you're putting before other priorities in your life. You're making sacrifices, you're putting in the effort. Sometimes it'll be thankless. Sometimes it won't work out.
Yeah,
You
I guess.
you
Yeah, I mean, I'd
give up
rather do that.
control.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, like I'd rather do that than pay clean diapers. You know, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can appreciate that. We're heading into potty training with my daughter, so
Oh, really?
I'll spare you those gruesome
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, yeah. Well, eye gushing is good enough. Like now we're getting into
I
farther
overdid it.
territory.
My apologies. Okay,
There we go again.
I know we shouldn't go in that direction at all. Just don't let me riff. Don't let me talk.
Okay, let
It,
me be the host of this live stream then.
stick to the agenda. Okay, so then I want to talk about some of our favorite free online tools for startups, and that really is our last agenda item for the day. So, but there are a few categories here. So I'm gonna start us off with the fact that PaymentEvolution has a free payroll calculator. It's available online. If you type in free payroll calculator, PaymentEvolution is probably going to be in your like the first results, most likely. But you're also more than welcome to check out paymentevolution.com and go to the payroll calculator. I think this is it's just like it's a reliable tool based on a working piece of software. The numbers are going to be accurate. It's not a full-fledged tool that's going to take care of your payroll every week, but it's a really great way to get you started and to get an understanding of what are your what are you ultimately navigating when you start payroll.
Mhm.
So I really love that we've got that free tool for people. I
Nice.
think
And
that's
what
huge.
exactly does it help them calculate? And how do you feel like it makes their lives easier?
Hmm. Well, I think it's a bit of a um, well, whether you're an employee, I think a lot of employees will probably go on there and like put in their salary or their hourly wage and try and understand, how what am I actually going to get clean? What am I going to get after taxes? So I think you
Uh,
will get that kind of usage. But I think it also really helps when you're starting up and trying to figure out, when do I get the payroll software? Do I start paying myself? Um, should I be paying my interns with honorariums versus payroll or whatever? It really helps to be informed, and
mm,
the easiest way to figure out how much it's going to cost you, what you're looking at out of pocket, and what you're putting into the pocket of your employee before you actually set up and start using a payroll software solution, is to try a reliable free payroll calculator. So essentially,
amazing.
you would put in what the pay period is, or like how much you're going to be paying the person for that pay period, and it's going to, based on defaults, it's going to calculate um, CPP, EI, regular taxes, federal and provincial, and spit out your clean numbers. So,
Hmm.
again, this doesn't store historical data or anything like that, but it's ground zero, I think, for having
Hmm.
an understanding of
So
what
basically,
what it actually means to run
so
payroll.
basically, yeah, yeah, exactly. And so basically, if you don't want to go through the process of figuring out the tax calculations and
Mhm.
the tricky number stuff, this payroll software kind of thing is for you.
Yeah, yeah. It's a really, really great place to start. Ideally, you want a solution that's going to keep historical records because that does factor into tax calculations. Um, but again, great, great place to get started, and so many businesses use it. It's a really great foot in the door, I think, for people to get to know payment evolution and figure out, when it is time to start using payroll for their business. Is Payment Evolution someone they can trust because they've already at least had some interaction, and we can go from there.
Exactly.
hmm
Check it out.
hmm Okay, so if you're not an accountant and you're trying to figure out payroll, we've talked about this. You can use the free Payment Evolution payroll calculator. What if you are not a graphic designer and you need business cards, or you
Mhm.
need a poster, or you need to design a magnet for the side of your car? What Do you have a favorite online design tool that's easy and free that you would recommend?
Yeah. Thanks for the setup.
Well, I think, yeah, people are pretty particular about this stuff, but you really don't
Yeah.
want to be doing this in Word, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Honestly, like if you run a business of some sort, you probably have to create social media graphics or posters.
Mhm,
And the thing is, like for me, I'm not the most creative, and I don't have the best design eye. And all I need is just a template and just change some words, and then bam, that's it. Something I can get done in
mhm,
2 minutes. And the software for you in that, not software, it's like a web application. You might have heard of it.
mhm,
It's called Canva, Canva. It's a
mhm,
easy to use graphic design software made for non-graphic designers who
mhm.
want to create easy to create graphics in like less the time and still have it look beautiful at the end.
Yeah.
So check out canva.com.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Canva too. I also like that they allow you to save your fonts and your colors and that sort of thing, so that you don't have to enter it brand new every single time. Um, but whether you want to try Canva or not, this isn't a plug for Canva. Um, I would definitely recommend searching for templates. Don't start from scratch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely
Unless you
like,
can.
unless you're a designer, and you've got the time, or you've got the time, I would
Yeah.
definitely look at templates. And there are some really cool, awesome templates out there, so you don't have to invent a beautiful look from scratch. And Canva is definitely one of those resources.
Exactly. Canva.com.
Okay, so
Infomercial again.
infomercial again. Okay. Do you have a favorite free email software?
Yeah, for sure. Again, thank you for the setup. So if you run a business, your relationship with your customers so they don't forget about you is going to be crucial. For example, if you run an e-commerce business, you had customers in the past, it's much better to keep your customers and sell more to them as existing customers than it is to get new customers. And the best way to keep your customers with you top of their mind is to start an email newsletter. And
Mhm,
when you hear the words email newsletter, it can be a little intimidating. Oh, techie, oh, emails, what is this and everything. But fear not, for I have a solution perfect for you. It is
mhm.
called MailChimp.com. You can get started with an easy to do email newsletter. So for example, let's say you're an accountant. In order to drive more revenue for your business, what you can do is upsell, your current customer base. And let's say you have a customer, you get them in your email newsletter, you send them valuable emails, maybe the top 5 tips of in accounting or in payroll, whatever it is that you do. And then, maybe once a week you send them an email saying, hey, by the way, taxes or something is coming up. Would you like a
Mhm,
free consultation? And then your
mhm.
existing customers who already know you are going to reach
Yeah.
out to you and be like, yes, I need that. And bam, just more revenue for your business. So check it
Mhm.
out, MailChimp.com. Get started with an easy to create email newsletter for your business.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna add to that. I'm gonna make a recommendation. Don't write your newsletter as if you're writing to 50 customers or 100 or 1,000, whatever your customer base might be. Imagine one of your customers and write an email to that person. And don't worry about designing the heck out of the email. Plain text is totally cool. People like working with people. So just be real, write a message that you would actually write if you were talking to somebody and wanted to give them an update. And then you can step back and always spice it up if you want to. But honestly, I feel like sometimes our best writing and our fastest is when we are not trying to create marketing
Yeah,
copy at all. You
exactly.
know, we're just communicating.
Honestly, and I was following this LinkedIn influencer, the marketing influencer on LinkedIn, and she said something really powerful. He said something real powerful. He's like, "Would you rather receive an email from Apple or a direct email from Tim Cook?" And I was like, "Oh, that's so true." So, if you're starting a newsletter, instead of making it sound corporate-y and everything coming from business, maybe if you are the owner yourself, you can send a personal email to your
Hmm.
customer saying, "Hey, John, hey, John here, and blah blah blah. This is
Hmm.
what I'm facing right now, blah blah blah." And people are going to resonate with that more compared to like a stone cold logo of a
Hmm.
company.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and again, I think the perspective you write from matters. So if someone writes that email from Tim Cook as if they're writing for 1,000 people, or in Apple's case, millions, it's
Hmm.
going to feel impersonal. It's just, think about one person, write it, and then you can always strip out anything that is too personal, that is too casual, and suddenly you've got an email ready to go, and you can actually whip those out pretty quickly.
Can I share a
Yeah.
copywriting hack?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So when you're writing an email or a piece of landing page or whatever it is, you want to go by this rule. For every one we, you want to include three yous. So for example, instead of saying we offer the best payroll solution for our thing and our competitors are blah 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 blah, right? That's we, right? Me.
Hmm.
Instead, what you want to say is, hey, listen, I know you struggle with figuring out your taxes right before when they're due, and you might be worried at night, not making payroll for the next Friday coming up. I
Hmm.
totally get you. And what I want to do for you is you notice the language is more personal. And it's like as if I'm
Hmm.
speaking directly to you. So for random copywriting tip,
Yeah.
talk less about me, more about you or them.
Yeah, and again, I think it comes back to, if you were at a party and you met somebody and you had something that could help them, you wouldn't say, "Oh boy, do I have the product for you. Allow me to begin my script," You just wouldn't talk that way.
Infomercial, yeah.
Yeah, you would be like, "Well, is that something you're actually struggling with? Oh, interesting. I might have something that you'd be interested in." And or ask, just trying to understand what it is that's actually, um, what the alignment is before you start preaching.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I like
Exactly.
that. I like that. Are there, do you, you say I keep setting you up. Do you have questions for me about my favorite business
Yeah, for
tools?
sure. So you're a manager, right? And we work
Yeah,
together. And you probably have a big to-do list. To
I
keep
do.
yourself on track with everything on your to-do list, is there a certain software you use for that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a huge productivity nerd, actually. So I'm fairly well versed in a variety of different, like, project management methodologies and such. I have to say, when it's my to-do lists, I want the post-it format. And
Mm,
that post-it format, my go-to is Trello. It's been around forever. It's free. At least, a certain level account usage is free. Um, and it's really like the whole concept, the Kanban concept came out of a Toyota factory in Japan, where they said you can only work on what you can see. So they made a list. If it didn't fit in this board, then it wasn't a priority. Like, it either had to knock out something else from the board, or it didn't get the time and attention. And so I find that is, my go-to. If things are more complicated, you can find a lot of tools out there that allow you to do, a spreadsheet format, and then also see it in a Kanban view, that post-it style board. Um, and while not free, but I know that they have, like, a trial or something. Smartsheet is pretty cool that way. Far more complex. But yeah, I'm still super partial to the post-its. Like, if you saw my desk right now, I got post-its everywhere.
what? And that doesn't
Yeah, I
overwhelm
do.
you at all.
No, 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 this is perfect. I'm gonna quickly show you my sidewall here. See?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, and it allows me to see at a glance. Um, and I still have project management software that allows me to do stuff effectively. But there, you can only have so many damn computer screens.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I really like to see what my priorities are, Yeah.
Wow. I feel like,
Hmm.
at least for me, like, I guess I work differently, but if one look at that, I'm just like overwhelmed. Like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
there's an anxiety attack right there.
And you got to know you. You got to do
Exactly.
you and kind of respond to your own, like your body knows what it needs. So
Mm.
respond.
So with that being said,
Hmm.
since you are managing a team and now you have like a tool to help you keep organized and
Hmm.
everything, a big part of leading a team is the communication aspect. With that being
Hmm.
said, is there any specific tools that you prefer when you're communicating with your team members?
Yes. And I think that my answer kind of depends on a few things. You actually mentioned one, and I'm going to let you talk about that one in a second. When I don't know, you and I were talking recently, um, but I'm going to just go like straight to consumer for a sec, and I'm going to mention WhatsApp.
Mm,
WhatsApp has, a phone app. It's got a desktop app. It allows you to send files, take pictures, mark up the pictures, send voice files. Everybody's got it. It's free over Wi-Fi, very, very accessible. If all my aunts can be on my Fam Jam channel and make that work, pretty much everybody has access to WhatsApp. So I feel like if you and it's free, right? So if you don't have um, the savviness around tech, or maybe your people aren't at a computer and you're not really looking for a computer first communication tool, I think WhatsApp can fill that gap and still be effective.
mhm.
But I also know and am a fan of the one
Yeah,
that you
actually,
mentioned
right
earlier.
before that,
Hmm.
uh, because when I look at my WhatsApp, I feel like there's so many groups, like group chats.
Hmm.
Do you have a filtering system for that? Because I know a lot of my friends and I, we
Yeah.
kind of complain because there's way too many group chats right now. I mean, I'm part of way
Sure.
too many. Like,
Yeah,
how do
fair
I
enough.
manage this?
Well, I think I can never disclose to the people who are part of the groups that I mute, but sometimes I do mute groups, right? Like
Exposed.
I can easily scroll through and see where I need to catch up, but I don't need to be, sitting on the edge of my seat for the conversation of what special ingredient went into someone's soup today, like.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think, but this comes back to exactly what I was saying about the that Trello board model. What's in your face is going to get your attention. And and so if you are looking at essentially new notifications constantly, it's like Twitter. Are you going to see the most important accounts if you don't pin them, if you don't find a
Hmm.
way to sort of identify them as most important to you? So you need to be ruthless about where you put your eyeballs at what time of day. And
For
I
real.
do need
For
to
real.
I do need to work on that. Like you and I WhatsApp each other sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also have like 8 family channels and a bunch of friend channels. But I am always able to see my work ones at the top, my work priority conversations. So
Nice.
yeah.
Solid. Pretty
Hmm.
good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Hmm.
WhatsApp. I think before I even started full time in this role, I was working part
Yeah.
time, and then we would communicate through WhatsApp, and it was nice
Hmm.
because I was having my phone or desktop, and it just is there, right?
Yeah. And you don't have to add yet another tool
Oh
to your
yeah.
phone, because God knows there's not enough room on these things. No matter how much space they give me, I manage to fill it. Um,
Apps and apps and apps. Yeah.
yes. But you had one that you really like.
Yeah, so the tool that I would like to bring up is what's called Slack. It's a communication tool. It's free and it's a great way for your team to communicate. But here's what makes it really interesting for me. The way I see Slack is that it's a culture builder. And let me tell you what I mean by that. In my last workplace, we would use Slack a lot. And we were using like whenever someone would post something, everyone had a custom emoji with their face on it. And then we would have, hey, look at that, we have a guest. What's
Dante, we're
up?
live on all those channels.
I don't care. I want to give you a hug.
Oh,
Aw.
sorry. You can keep talking, Alif.
But when it comes to Slack, okay, so, in my
More than
last
hug, give
workplace,
Pressure.
you're such a great mom. Like, this is so sweet. That
He
just
goes,
got us like 10 views.
I
Like,
know. He's like, he's like, I had to come and crash your webinar. So cute.
aw, aw.
Sorry, but I
uh,
really wanted to hear about I really want to hear about the culture piece, because I've had the same
yeah.
experience, I think.
Exactly. So whenever a friend would post, "Yo, where are we eating?" on the thing, everyone would have a specific emoji with again like their face on it, but it exaggerated face. So someone's face would be like that,
Yeah.
and then another person's face would be like this, and then everyone had their own specific emoji, and every like the
Mhm.
second someone posts something, everyone's jumping on that with it on like in an emoji bandwagon, and
Mhm.
it was just fun to go chat on Slack. And then I always felt like even though in real life we were like social distancing and we couldn't talk
Mhm.
and everything, we were still communicative and like sending memes and having fun, and I still
Mhm.
felt connected to the team through Slack, and it didn't feel like I was like I'm at work and everything. No, I felt like I was
Yeah.
genuinely hanging out with friends, and I think that's the magic that Slack brought for me at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I love when there's room to be you, man. Like no one wants to work with your resume, right? You're a human being, so that's really cool. And I really love the very easy Giphy function, the
Mm.
backslash Giphy, and then you can just add a word, and it'll randomly give you usually a perfect GIF. So yeah, it was really fun, and you could go down that rabbit hole. But if you can't go down a rabbit hole with the people you work with in those circumstances, you shouldn't work with them. You don't have anything in common. You don't like the same things. You're not interested in, the similar mission and all of that. So yeah, I do think that Slack is pretty cool that way.
Exactly. I feel like
Mhm.
Sam's gonna be a little disappointed because we did mention Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm Microsoft Teams is like really growing on me. There's this Microsoft employee who has a channel where he like it's not affiliated with Microsoft at all, and he outright says, "I'm an employee, but I'm not affiliated or whatever." In his channel, but he does these great videos on like how to properly use Teams, how to properly do this or do that. And I've actually learned a bunch of things. I think I showed you one today around how you can, like, if you have an email thread in your inbox and you want the files and stuff saved to a team
Oh,
and a channel,
wow.
you could just email it to the channel and everything is synced in one place. So I really love the idea of a hub.
So he just
um,
like just goes. I'm trying to picture this. So he just kind of goes and like, hey, I just want to like teach people how to use Microsoft Teams,
yeah,
and
he's like, this is,
all for no like.
well, he's like, this is how you should be using it. This is the
I don't know
right
why I
way
think
to
that's
use
funny,
it.
but yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome though. That's an awesome story. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm such a nerd for that kind of thing, like smart usage of software. If I can shave seconds off of something I do every day, I feel like I won, you know?
Wow, you're the perfect ideal target audience for this particular individual.
Yeah, yeah, I am clearly.
You get
And
along with a lot of people there. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, and my boss is in love with most things most all maybe things Microsoft. So yeah, it's kind of cool where when I know of a functionality that he doesn't, I'm like, that's great.
Oh, and he was a Microsoft employee, so you're
Yeah, I
one
believe
upping this
so.
this
Yeah.
person. Oh wow, Sam, if you're watching this or listening to this right now, watch out. Just saying.
To get you.
Oh, whoa, careful. You have a one-on-one coming up with him. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, there's one more that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually used it in a long time, so I'm not sure what the free account looks like, what the trial account looks like anymore. But I did use something called Streak CRM um, for a while for my business. Now, for my business, I was using Google Apps for Business, and Streak integrated really, really well with that, and I really appreciated that because I was my company was very small. There was a team of maybe like 3 to 5 of us, depending on when you look at us in the sequence of time, kind of thing. But I didn't have time to teach people new software, and the fact is, they were already in their inboxes all the time, so it worked really well for us to sync up all of our contacts and opportunities and proposals that we were working on all in one place in email. To kind of do that where we already were hanging out, I thought was really, really smart. So yeah, I if I was choosing a CRM again and I was using Google Apps for Business, I would definitely check out Streak. And I think they're a small startup too, which I also love. So
Mm.
yeah.
Streak. Okay, I've never heard of that, but
Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay.
Well, the thing is, you really don't need it until you're at scale, until you have a bunch of opportunities in the hopper all at once, until there are multiples of you having those conversations. That's when you start to need to keep track of those things. Um,
Mm,
but I think it's a really, really great way to get started. It's not overwhelming. And we use Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and it is brilliant, but it is next level. Like that's not, I wouldn't say, unless you're like super tech savvy, I wouldn't say that it's where you, as a small business owner, start your CRM journey.
yeah, yeah. It's having used it myself. Like it is more on the technical side rather than like a very simple, easy user interface. So
Yeah.
maybe later down the line you can get
hmm
on Microsoft Dynamics.
God knows, very cool things can be done with it. So
We just gotta unlock its potential.
we have to unlock the
That's the
potential.
quest. The marketing department. That's our
Yeah.
main slogan.
Yes,
Unlock
exactly. Unlock
Dynamics
the potential.
potential.
Another thing that belongs on a t-shirt.
So many T-shirts are gonna be made.
We should start a t-shirt company.
Yeah, screw payroll. Just go to T-shirts. I'm
No,
sure.
no. Then we
Sorry,
can
Sam. Sorry.
use payroll to pay ourselves.
That's
There's
hilarious.
there's method to the madness. All right. Okay, so we've got webinar coming up this week on Tuesday. Stay tuned on social for that. We've got a podcast released on Wednesday, and we've got another live stream on Friday. There's probably a bunch of other stuff that's going down, but yeah, I think that's kind of the Coles notes. Ooh, we are actually also taking part in, sorry, I forgot to say this earlier, but I'm still going to call it out now. We're taking part in the Zero Roadshow, except this time it's called the Zero Remote Show.
Mhm.
So we're going to be doing that next week too. I'm pretty sure, excuse my foggy memory and blurry vision, but I believe that's next week on the 8th, if I remember correctly. But
And for
anyways,
those who don't know what that is,
yeah,
what is that?
yeah, Zero is a really popular, reliable accounting software, and our payroll software integrates with Zero Accounting. So for your SMB, you can actually have your payroll and your accounting software, all your accounts payable, receivables, all of those line items come together in one place, so that you don't have those silos
Mm,
of money kind of going in and out in different places. Yeah, and Zero's, like, from a marketing perspective, Zero's got beautiful branding and really cool people. So I'm pretty
mm.
excited to be a part of this one. Not, I don't believe we're speaking at it, but I'm still excited to be a part of it. So yeah, the Zero Remote Show, and we'll be promoting that next week too.
Awesome. And again,
Mhm,
guys, if you want access to the pandemic toolkit, your go-to toolkit for running
mhm.
a business during COVID-19, feel free to email me, alif@paymentevolution.com, and I'll just send it your way.
Yep. And keep your eyes peeled for announcements around that as well. And yeah, we're super honored that you spent some time with us today. Thank you very, very much. And I think I'm out. How about you, Alif? You
Cool.
done for Friday?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna run to the washroom first, actually. That's the first step. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm actually
Eh,
going to Blue Mountain later today, so I'm
Ooh,
really looking forward to
congrats.
that. So,
Yeah. So you won't be on the company cocktail party in an hour?
which I will. I mean, after that, I'm gonna head out
No,
after
yeah,
work.
of course. Fair
Company
enough.
comes first. Work comes first.
Company cocktails come first.
Company cocktails. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you soon. And the rest of
Awesome.
y'all, hopefully, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, can't wait to connect again.
Sounds
Happy
good.
Friday.
Happy Friday, guys. Bye.
Bye.